जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यमुनातीर वनचारि यमुनातीर वनचारि जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद निताई गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताई गौर हरि बोल हरे कृष्ण प्रणाम
Hari Bol. Thank you so much, Mataji, for wonderfully reading. Devotees, anybody would like to recite the Mangalachara?
I would like to try, Prabhuji.
Yeah, sure, Mataji. Thank you. Let me open it.
Hare Krishna. Om Ajnana-timirandasya Jnana-salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Kena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kadamayam Dadati Shvapadantikam Vande Aham Shri Guru Shriyutapādakamalam Shri Guruvam Vaishnavam Shri Rupam Sagarajatam Sahagana Raghunatinditam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishwakanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानं पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्री वास आदि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण
You can
Hare
recite
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hari Bol.
Krishna.
Thank you so
Hare
much,
Bol.
Mataji, for wonderfully
Krishna. Thank you.
So I think we have our Baldev Prabhu. Baldev Prabhuji would like to lead today. Any other devotees would like to lead? Can lead. We can just.
Oh, you go ahead, Prabhuji.
Okay, Prabhuji, we'll all take turns. So yesterday, Baswati Mataji wonderfully, gave us the mini quiz of 13th chapter and started the 14th chapter, the three modes of material nature. And this is wonderful chapter, as Mataji mentioned. I'll just go through the gist of this chapter again. So in the first two shlokas, Krishna is glorifying the pure knowledge. Krishna glorifies the knowledge, and he is going to reveal in this the whole chapter. Actually, in the last chapter, as we read, right, Lord Krishna, even in 13:22, that the living entity takes up repeated birth and death due to the association with the modes of material nature, all the gunas. So that's why in this chapter, Krishna will elaborate more about the modes of this material nature and how they work and how they bind the living entity and how they are destroyed. All those anarthas can be destroyed with Krishna Bhakti. So in the first couple of shlokas, Krishna is glorifying the pure knowledge. And, having glorified the knowledge, Krishna will begin to explain the relationship between the Jiva, Prakriti, and Krishna himself. So the Jiva's contact with the Prakriti. So you can see that here. And now in the third shloka, the Lord impregnates Prakriti. As we know, the Lord is the Supreme Purusha. We are all actually Prakriti. So the material nature or the Prakriti, also known as Mahat Brahma or Mahat Tattva, is the womb. And Krishna says that I impregnate, making possible the births of all the jivas. As we can see right here, impregnate, making possible the births of all living. And in the fourth shloka, Krishna says that all the species of life, O son of Kunti, are made possible, possible by birth in this material nature, and that I am the seed-giving father. So Krishna is clearly saying that I am the seed-giving father for the whole entire Mahat. All the universes are, he is the cause of all causes, Sarva Karana Karana. And now from 5 to 9, how the material modes bind the pure Jiva. He explains here. So we can see goodness, passion, ignorance, all these things. Here you can see that goodness, passion, ignorance. When the eternal living entity comes in contact with the nature, O mighty Amrajana, he becomes conditioned by these modes. So in this way, and in the sixth shloka, he is talking about the bondage by Sattva-guna. Even in the goodness also we can get bounded. As we know, we have Sattva-guna, Rajoguna, and Tamoguna. But beyond these three modes is Shuddha Sattva, pure goodness. So our aim is to be pure goodness. In any of this, even in Sattva Guna, if we are entangled, I mean, if by doing charities, without keeping Krishna in the center, like some people say, okay, I mean, Manava Sevaya, Madhava Seva. So it is not completely correct. When you do Manava Seva in looking, keeping Krishna in the center, then it will become Madhav Seva. Otherwise, it is just a material Seva. Because sometimes we give money, and they might do anything. And they might buy alcohol, drugs, whatever. And so when we are giving prasadam, that's the best thing. And of course, we can distribute books as well. So like that in 5, 6, 7, 6, 7, 8, sixth bondage by goodness, and seventh like bondage by passion, the Rajoguna, and in the 8th bondage by Tamoguna, which is ignorance. So in the 9th, Krishna is giving us the summary. Goodness conditions one to happiness, passion conditions one to fruitive actions, and ignorance covers one's knowledge into madness. And from 10, 12, 11, 12, 13, Krishna is recognizing the presence of the modes. So in the 10th, we can see that compassion amongst the modes. Sorry, competition amongst the modes. And in the 11th, when goodness increases, what will happen? And as we know, there are 9 gates in our body: 2 eyes, ears, 2 nostrils, mouth, genitals, and anus are illuminated by knowledge and happiness. One can see and taste. So as we already read, based on how our goodness, at the time of the death, our life air will go from one of these 9 gates. Of course, for pure souls, it can go directly from the on the top of the head. We have a one more, but that is only for the pure souls. And from 14 to 18, effect of conditioning by the modes. So describes long-term effect, destination. What is our destination after death? It will be explained here. So when one dies in the mode of goodness, he attains the pure higher planets, and they will go to Devaloka, or Indraloka, but they have to come back, or they might get born in a very highly aristocratic family. But when there is a devotee, then they will get born in a devotional family. So in this way, we can see that in the 16 describes, the 14, 15 long-term effect, and 15, 16 describes the medium term, and the 17 describes the immediate effect, and 18 describes the jiva's direction in the universe after the death. So we'll again, of course, read much more in detail. And having said, describe all the controls of the modes, Krishna will now describe how to transcend these modes and explain how one can position in relation to them. So from the 19 to 27, transcending these modes, becoming gunatita. So we have to come beyond this 3 gunas. How? So we can, in the whole section is the gnana, stresses the discrimination. The discrimination ultimately leads one to appreciate that he is not the body. And then we can understand, once we come beyond these 3 modes, then we can understand that Krishna is the supreme, and that we should take shelter of Krishna and become free from all these 3 gunas. The gnana is the path that culminates the whole bhakti. So everything is will go much more in detail, and you can see that in the last, Krishna says that I am the basis of the impersonal Brahman, which is immortal, imperishable, and eternal, and is the constitutional position of ultimate happiness. So when one understands, has attained the level of Brahman, what is achieving the level of Brahman is freedom from the contamination of these modes of the 3 modes of material nature. Only then he will be qualified to engage in Krishna Bhakti. Otherwise, we can think that we have come here by chance, but not so. Unless one has that qualification, we cannot come and sit together and read Bhagavad Gita. That's what Krishna is saying. And Krishna is the basis of the eternal process of bhakti that gives the realization of the personality of Krishna. Both Brahman and Paramatma are within the Supreme Person, Krishna, as we know. And we all know that both soul and super soul, sits right in our body. But the super soul is always trying to guide the soul. But sometimes, at least I'm talking about myself, my heart is very, contaminated, so I cannot listen. Like even the iron, when it gets rusty, even if you put a magnet, it will not get attracted. So when we have this Kama, Krodha, Mada, Matsarya, we cannot see Krishna in our heart. That's why if we come beyond these three modes, then the realization of Brahman or eternity is included in bhakti. That's why if you see every chapter, even though they are not directly in Bhakti Yoga, Srila Prabhupada stresses about bhakti. Krishna is the basis, and only with unalloyed devotion we can transcend these modes of bhakti. I was just wanting to. So I know Mataji covered first and second yesterday. Anybody would like to add anything about this? Actually, we wanted our Raghu Prabhu to lead, but Prabhuji's voice is hearing is still not up to the mark, so we'll read together. Anybody would like to add anything before we get started? Okay,
Thank you, Prabhuji. Very nicely you summarized the whole chapter.
Thank you, Mataji. Anybody would like to read this shloka?
I can read, Prabhuji.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji.
Bhagavad Gita 14.3. Mama yo nirmahat brahma tashmin garbham dadamayam sambhava sarva bhutanam tato bhavati bharata.
Very good. Thank you, Mataji. Anybody else would like to write?
I can try, Guruji.
Thank you.
Mamo yonir mahad brahma tosmin garbham dadami aham shambhavo sarva bhutanam tato bhavati bharata. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Anyone else would like to try?
Hare Krishna.
Yes, ma'am.
Mama yonirmahad brahma tasmin garbham dadamayam sambhava sarva bhutanam tato bhavati bharata. Hare Krishna.
Hari Bol. Thank you, Mataji. Anyone else would like to try? Okay, I will also read. Mama yonir mahad brahma tasmin garbham dadamyaham sambhava sarva bhutanam tato bhavati bharata. Okay, we can read synonyms and translation. Anybody would like?
I can read, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
Mama, Mama, my, Yonihi, source of birth, Mahat, the total material existence, Brahma, supreme, Tasmin, in that, Garbham, pregnancy, Tadhami, create, Aham, I, Sambhavaha, the possibility, Sarva Bhutanam, of all living entities, Tataha, thereafter, Bhavati, becomes, Bharata, O son of Bharata. Translation by A.C. Bhakti Vedant Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The total material substance called Brahman is the source of birth, and it is that Brahman that I impregnate, making possible the births of all living beings, O son of Bharata. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Anybody would like to read the purport? A couple of paragraphs. Two devotees can.
I
I
can,
can- Yeah,
Go ahead.
but-
I can just start. Yeah. Thank you. This is an all glories to Srila Prabhupada, purport by Srila Prabhupada. This is an example, explanation of the world. Everything that takes place is due to the combination of Kshetra and Kshetrajna, the body and the spirit soul. This combination of material nature and the living entity is made possible by the Supreme God Himself. The Mahat Tattva, is the total cause of the total cosmic manifestation, and that total substance of the material cause, in which there are three modes of nature, is sometimes called Brahman. The Supreme Personality impregnates that total substance, and thus innumerable universes become possible. This total material substance, Mahat Tattva, is described as Brahman in the Vedic literature. Mundaka Upanishad 1.1.19. Tasmat etad Brahma Nama Rupam Anyam cha Jayate. The Supreme Person impregnates that Brahman with the seeds of the living entities. The 24 elements, beginning from earth, water, fire, and air, are all material energy, and they constitute what is called Mahat Brahma, or the great Brahman, the material nature. As explained in the 7th chapter, beyond this, there is another superior nature, the living entity. Into material nature, the superior nature is mixed by the will of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and therefore all living entities are born of this material nature. Someone can read, Mataji. Mataji, you'd like to read? You can read.
Sure, Mataji. The scorpion lays its eggs in piles of rice, and sometimes it is said that the scorpion is born out of rice. But the rice is not the cause of the scorpion. Actually, the eggs were laid by the mother. Similarly, material nature is not the cause of birth of the living entities. The seed is given by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and they only seem to come out as products of material nature. Thus, every living entity, according to his past activities, has a different body created by this material nature so that the entity can enjoy or suffer according to his past deeds. The Lord is the cause of all the manifestations of living entities in the material world, in this material world. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Vasudhi Mataji, and any would like to add?
Hare Krishna.
Excellent. Go ahead, Mataji.
You can go ahead, then I will. Please.
Yeah, sure.
The part that I read from that, what I'm understanding is that Krishna is explaining that even though apparently a scorpion seems to be born out of rice because it is coming out, the eggs are cracking in the rice, but really the mother laid the eggs in the rice, and that's why the reality is that it's coming out of there. So similarly, Krishna is explaining that I cannot fully understand this part, but I think what he's saying is that within Brahman, Krishna creates this the soul, or the living, not the soul, the body that the soul can enjoy or suffer in when it is born. But it's really Krishna who is impregnating and creating that body for the soul to enjoy. And he is the cause of all manifestations. I think I understood this much, Prabhuji, but I think it needs more
Yeah, that's
explanation.
correct, Mataji. As we know, right, actual seed-giving father is Lord Krishna, because he told, even though we think that we are born from our mother and father, right, or the Brahman, whatever, but actual seed-giving father is Lord Krishna. We are all Prakriti. So in the same way, even though the scorpion lays eggs in the rice, but some laymen, they think that, oh, the small scorpions are coming out of the rice, so they think that, oh, these scorpions are born out of rice, but it's not, right? So the seed giving father is actually the scorpion. In that way, for all of us, we are all Prakriti. He is the Supreme Purusha. He is the seed giving father for the whole, entire. He's the cause of all causes. Baswati Mataji sings, right? Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachitananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarva Karana Karam. He's the cause of all causes. That's my list. Anybody would like to add?
Thank you, Prabhuji. You explained it much better than I was able to. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, I can add another part.
Yes, Mataji, please.
So Prabhuji, as you explained that already, that Krishna is the seed giving father. He gives the seed to this material, to create this material manifestation. So here Prabhupada is telling here that everything takes place with the combination of Kshetra, which is our body, and the Kshetragya. And who is the Kshetragya? The spirit soul and the super soul. So, but here the combination of material nature and the spirit soul, which is we are the individual soul, this combination only made possible because of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and the Mahatattva. So we read about this Mahatattva. Mahatattva is the creation, annihilation, and maintenance of this cosmic manifestation. And this cosmic manifestation in total is called the Mahatattva. So when Lord Brahma, he is the first person. He came from the navel of Garbhadaksha Vishnu, and but before that, Mahavishnu actually he's sleeping on the Karnadaksha ocean, Karanasagar, and Mahavishnu or Karnadaksha Vishnu, and then that time the living entity rests in his body. And when the creation happens, and the creation happens through the glance of the Supreme Lord to the material nature, and then the creation happens, and according to the past deeds of the living entity, they got different kinds of body. And when they get this different kind of body, they have to act according to this body, and that is called the law of the nature. So now this Mahatattva is here, Prabhupada is telling, is the total cause of the cosmic manifestation and the substance of material cause. The substance we already read that we have this whole Mahatattva, whole universe is this material nature or material energy has composed of 24 elements. We already read about this many times. And also it contains the three modes of material nature. So when a living soul, a living entity got this body, they got through this 24 elements, and also influenced by the three modes of material nature, Satya, Raja, and Tama. And because of that, we act in this material world. So, and that is, and this material substance, Mahatattva, also Prabhupada is described in the Vedic literature, Mundaka Upanishad, and but in everything, the Brahman, this impregnates that Brahman with the seeds of living entities. So, and this is also called Brahman, the whole this material cosmic manifestation and these three material modes of material nature together, it's called Brahman. Now and then into material nature, the supreme nature is mixed with, okay, yeah, so mixed with the will of the Supreme. So whatever happens in this material world, this is all the Supreme will, according to the Supreme will of the Supreme Lord. We are very much dependent on the will of the Supreme Lord, though individual soul has their own will, because Krishna never interfere with someone's desire, someone's will. So because of that, actually we are in this material world because we desire to enjoy other than Krishna. We forget Krishna, as Prabhupada as the Prabhuji also explained about this Satya Guna. The Satya Guna, the people do not have to be Krishna conscious. They may be Krishna conscious, may not be Krishna conscious. So that's why, like, they are also suffering in this material world, though they have better mode of material nature, Satya Guna, but still they may not be Krishna conscious. So we have to keep always in mind that Krishna should be in the center of our life, and realizing that every day in our life, practicing devotional service constant basis, not like someday I will do more and then someday I will do less. No, we have to keep balancing, and sometimes we have to also do more bhakti than the material activities. So those things at least for myself, like I should apply every day in my life, whatever I'm reading, studying with all of you, with the help of all of your association, whatever consciousness I am getting from this, I should apply in my life also, in each and every moment, because um, time is flying, so don't know how long I will at least survive in this material world. So it's better to take the opportunity of every moment to become Krishna conscious. Back to Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Please correct Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Very well. Thank you so much, Mataji, for explaining very nicely. Devotees, anybody would like to add anything?
Yeah, I have a question. There's Mahat Tattva and there's Mahat Brahman, right? So is the Mahat Tattva is the total cosmic manifestation, and Mahat Brahman is the 24 material elements. Is that, and can anyone
Yeah, the
elaborate on
total
that?
material substance called Brahman is the source of birth, and then the Lord impregnates the Brahman with the living entity. So that is called the material nature is the mother. So that's what your Mahatattva.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I
Yeah,
can add.
Prabhu, please go ahead.
So, Brahman, this word Krishna used in Gita in 4 times, in 4 chapters. So, the meaning is defined in each and every chapter. So, at the beginning, we know Brahman, right? The light, the effulgence coming out the Krishna is the Brahman. This is the one way of understanding Krishna, not the complete, but partial. Then Brahma, Paramatma, Bhagavan. So what is the Brahman? Here the Brahman is the Prakriti. Here the Brahman means Prakriti. Mahat Brahman Joni. That's another part will come, right? Mahat Brahman, so I am Sid giving father. Mahat Brahman. What's the sloka? I forgot. It will come here only. So here Brahman is Prakriti. In 8.3, Krishna said, Brahman, again use the word on Brahman, but that is meaning Jivatma, the soul. And Arjuna also telling in 10th chapter that Param Brahma, Param Dham, Pavitram Param Bhavan. Param Brahman, ke Krishna. So one Brahman mentioning Gita, that the effulgence. Param Brahman, Arjuna telling to Krishna that you are the supreme Brahman. Then here is the Prakriti. And in 8th chapter, we'll see Krishna's mentioning about the Jivatma. So Prabhupada explaining that way. So Brahman is different meaning in different verses. Hare Krishna.
Oh, no, that was not my question. No, the question is, yeah, I know he's using Brahman in different places and it's in different contexts. But what I was asking was about Mahat Tattva and Mahat Brahman.
So this metal is a Mahat Brahman. This whole metal is a Mahat Brahman. Brahman means the Prakriti, and Mahat Brahman means whole metal manifestation. Not only with the living entity here, all there, like in the sun also is living entity. So Mahat.
Okay.
But Brahman is the here Prakriti, and Mahat means entire manifestation, cosmic manifestation.
Okay, then Mahat Tattva.
Mahat we are already discussing again and again, right? When during the creation, when everything came out, right? From like the planet, like our planet, it first comes in the Garbhodaksha Vishnu. He sweats, and half of the universe is filled with the water. On the top, what is called Antashesha, holding with his hooks, Garbhodaksha Vishnu. From Garbhodaksha Vishnu, all the planet creates, right? But these planets are empty. So, and this planet is initially empty. Then all the ingredients, 24 elements comes. The what is called the 3 gunas comes. At the beginning, we call them, when they are not mixed up in the unmanifested form, we call them pradhan. But when with the glances of Mahavishnu, they started creating, mixing up everything. We call Mahatattva.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
the sum total of the whole total material creation, Prabhuji, you can call that as Mahatattva.
Okay.
Because it will include, ultimate end of all the universes. It includes all the living entities, everything. And the Brahman is the resort of the Mahatattva, which includes all material and spiritual entities.
Okay. So it's
That's
like a
why it is,
subset of the Mahatattva.
yeah, it is described that,
Yeah.
the connection of the Supreme Brahman. That's why it is called Supreme Brahman.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Krishna Prabhuji. Yeah, wonderful question, Prabhuji. Because the Mahatattva contains all the ingredients of the material manifestations, including the conditioned souls, primarily the Mahatattva, again divided into 16 parts. So the 5 gross material elements, 11 working, all our, instruments, senses. You can, it is like a cloud in the clear sky. And in the spiritual sky, the effulgence is the Brahman, which is spread around the whole system. Anybody would like to add anything?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare
Prabhuji,
Krishna.
just, would like to clarify myself about this, and very nicely you explained, Prabhuji, about the difference between Brahman and Mahat Brahman. So Brahman is the Prabhuji, when here Prabhupada is explaining that Mahatattva is the total cosmic manifestation, as Prabhuji already explained, that creation, during creation, and a lot of universes has formed from Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, and then Super Soul as a Karnodakshaya Vishnu enters as a Super Soul. And with this Mahatattva, so this is called Mahatattva, which is material cosmic manifestation, means creation of this universe. And then in this Mahatattva, when 3 modes of material nature added, then it's called Brahman. And then this is Prabhupada is writing here, and then the Mahat Brahman, Mahat Brahma. What is the great Brahman or Mahat Brahma is that when Krishna impregnates and giving the seeds, and the living entity then form, gets the body through these 24 elements, earth, water, air, fire, all those 24 elements, and the material nature. At that time, the material nature is called Great Brahman or Mahat Brahma, which is the material nature as or Prakriti, what Prabhuji was telling. So, means Mahat Brahman here is the Prakriti or material nature, whereas Brahman only is the 3 modes of material nature on Mahatattva. Am I correct, Prabhuji?
Yeah, yes, Mataji, but Brahman, as Prabhuji said, based on the context, it is little bit changes. Maybe I
Yeah.
was thinking we can, since we still have 15 minutes or 20 minutes, maybe we can read this. Here it is more, explained in more. Maybe we can, 3-4 devotees can take turns. Here, this is from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, 878. Where it says, when Dhruva Maharaj thus captured the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the refuge of total material creation and who is the master of all living entities, the 3 worlds began to tremble. So Srila Prabhupada clearly explains about these concepts. If we are okay, we can read this also.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah.
You want to read the first paragraph, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Prabhupada ki jai. In this verse, the particular word Brahma is very significant. Brahman refers to one who not only is the greatest but has the potency to expand to an unlimited extent. How was it possible for Dhruva Maharaj to capture Brahman within his heart? This question has been very nicely answered by Jiva Goswami. He says that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the origin of Brahman. For since he comprises everything material and spiritual, there cannot be anything greater than he. In the Bhagavad Gita also, the Supreme Godhead says, I am the resting place of Brahman. Many persons, especially the Mayavadi philosophers, consider Brahman the biggest all-expanding substance. But according to this verse and other Vedic literature such as Bhagavad Gita, the resting place of Brahman is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, just as the resting place of the sunshine is the sun globe. Srila Jiva Goswami therefore says that since the transcendental form of the Lord is the seed of all greatness, he is the Supreme Brahman. Since the Supreme Brahman was situated in the heart of Dhruva Maharaj, he became heavier than the heaviest, and therefore everything trembled in all three worlds and in the spiritual world. Someone can read, Prabhuji, the next.
Yeah, you want to add anything, Mataji, here?
Prabhuji, here in this context, Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is actually beyond the material and spiritual. He is both, and he is the greatest among all the greatest. So that's what Prabhuji I understood from here. So he,
Yeah,
in combination of both material and spiritual Brahman,
yes.
and
So
it's
we can,
different from the Mayavadi concept.
yeah, correct, Mataji. So we can see that, right? Many persons, especially Mayavadi philosophers, consider
Yeah.
the Brahman itself is the biggest and all
Biggest.
expanding.
Yes.
But according to this verse and even in Bhagavad Gita, we can see that the Brahman, the resting place of Brahman is,
The head.
where is that Brahman coming from? Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, just as the resting place of sun glow.
Yes, Prabhuji.
And here it is Mahat Prabhupada, explains. Anybody would like to read this, or we can, okay, I can. Yeah, please, Mataji, go ahead.
The Mahatattva, or the sum total of the material creation, is to be understood to be the ultimate end of all universes, including all the living entities therein. Brahman is the resort of the Mahatattva, which includes all material and spiritual entities. It is described in this connection that the Supreme Brahman, the personality of Godhead, is the master of both Pradhana and Purusha. Pradhana means subtle matter such as ether. Purusha means the spiritual spark living entities who are entangled in that subtle material existence. There may also These may also be described as para prakriti and apara prakriti as stated in Bhagavad Gita. Krishna, being the controller of both the prakritis, is thus the master of Pradhana and Purusha. In the Vedic hymn also, the Supreme Brahman is described as Antah Pravistah Sasta. This indicates that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is controlling everything and entering into everything. The Brahma Samhita 5.35 further confirms this. Anandastha Paramanu Cha Yanatarastham. He has entered.
Andantara Stha Paramanu Chayantarastha.
Thank you, Prabhuji. He has entered not only the universes but even the atom. In the Bhagavad Gita 10.42, Krishna also says, Vistabhyaham idam Krishnam. The Supreme Personality of Godhead controls everything by entering into everything. By associating constantly with the Supreme Personality in his heart, Dhruva Maharaj naturally became equal to the greatest Brahman by his association and thus became the heaviest, and the entire universe trembled. In conclusion, a person who always concentrates on the transcendental form of Krishna within his heart can very easily strike the whole world with wonder at his activities. This is the perfection of yoga performance. As confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 6.47, Yogi Nam Api Sarve Sam, of all yogis, the yogi who thinks of Krishna always within the heart and engages in his loving transcendental service is the topmost. Ordinary yogi can exhibit wonderful material activities known as Astasiddhi, 8 kinds of yogic perfection, but a pure devotee of the Lord can surpass these perfections by performing activities which can make the whole universe tremble. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. You'd like to?
I
Yeah,
think
here
I
I think this one explains, I think, some of our confusion. I would like to add anything, Mataji, here?
Prabhuji, I think it will be better if you explain. I'm not 100% sure that I followed
Of course,
everything.
yeah, even, I don't know, but only I'm trying to understand what Prabhupada has, mentioned here. The Mahatattva, or the sum total of material creation, right? Mahatattva means the sum total of material creation. Mataji, if my understanding is wrong, please correct me. Is to understood be the ultimate of end of all the universes, right? Mahatattva, including all the living entities therein, right? And the Brahman is the resort of the Mahatattva. Prabhupada is saying Brahman is the resort of the whole Mahatattva, which includes not only material, even the spiritual entities. And it is described in this connection that the Supreme Brahman, who is Krishna again, right? The personality of Godhead, is the master of both Pradhana and Purusha. Purusha Pradhana means the subtle matter, such as ether. So Purusha means the spiritual spark. This is what I understood, Mataji. I think we are all on the same page, right? Anybody would like to add anything about Mahatattva and Brahman?
So the pradhana is the material, and once that the Purusha gives in this case, the Supreme Lord gives us seed giving to the pradhana, then the living entities are created. Is that right?
Yes, Prabhuji, yeah.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay,
Pradhan,
and then once the pradhana is impregnated, then also uh, the three modes of material, uh, the three modes of material nature are created at that time, or they're already created. I know this.
Everything is created, Prabhuji, when that,
Prabhuji, what actually I was reading different Prabhupada's purport. So, Prabhuji, what I understood is that when the Supreme Lord give a glance to the material nature, we are the living entity, the material world creates, and we got the body according to our past deeds.
Yeah.
And on that time, the Mahatattva, there is this 3 modes of material nature. These 3 modes of material nature comes into account, influence us, and due to that we act in this material world, because only matter, only the 24 elements cannot, we cannot act with that, right? We need that, modes of nature to act according to our these 3 modes of nature. So
Right.
that is comes during this, when Mahatattva happens, when creation happens. So,
Okay.
Pradhan, Mahatattva, these are all, Prabhuji, interrelated. Actually I shared that from Chaitanya Charitamrita, it's written there like Mahatattva and Pradhana, they are interrelated to each other. So this 24 elements acts as, those are the matters with the individual souls, so that we get the body, and these 3 modes of material nature comes into account, and then we act in this material world, and we are entangled by these 3 modes of material nature. But everything is happening on the will of the Supreme Lord. He is the main controller, but he gave also, at the same time, he gave us a free will. Because of our free will, he never interfere with our free will. So because of that, we have the desire in this material world to come and enjoy. So, but our real identity is we are the individual soul, we are the part and parcel of Krishna. We have only relationship with Krishna, but because we want to enjoy, that's our desire. So Krishna is fulfilling our desire. He sanctioned our desire, and this material world, which is Maya Devi, that Maya Devi actually then cause, is the instrumental cause. So first Krishna sanctions our desire, and then the Maya Devi acts in this material. So that way we work, Prabhuji. So that's what I got from those different purports, Prabhuji. I'm
Yeah,
not sure.
thank you, Mataji. Yeah, wonderfully explained.
Okay, thank you, Mataji.
Yeah, because here in this, oh, sorry, somebody was saying something. Is it? Okay. So in this itself, we can just go see the material nature is the mother, and supplying a living entity with this body, and the total material substance, called Brahman, is the source of the birth, and the Lord impregnates the Brahman with all the living entities. That's why Krishna says, I impregnate, making possible the births of all the living entities. And we saw this example of the scorpion laying eggs. So the same way, the actual cause of all causes, Father is Lord Krishna, and he gives that explanation. Everything that takes place is due to a combination of kshetra, as Mataji already explained about the kshetra and kshetragna. So kshetragna is the spirit soul, and this combination of living entity is made possible by the Supreme God himself. Here and that's why the Mahatattva is the total cause of the total cosmic manifestation and the total substance of the material God, in which there are three, here Krishna Prabhupada clearly says, in which there are three modes of material nature. So the three modes of material nature are part of it, and is sometimes called as Brahman as well. So again, as Prabhuji said, Brahman, according to the context, it is little different, but in this case, everything is Brahman. Anybody would like to add anything? I think that it was a nice discussion. I know these are all technical details, but at the end of the day, what we have to remember is chant, simple A, B, C, D, E, right? That's what that's the, formula we have to remember. I know these are all technical details, but at the end of the day, we have to associate with the association of the devotees, read Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, and chant nicely, and do devotional service, D for devotional service, and our diet, Krishna Prasadam, and E, going to the holy places, entering Vrindavan, entering the Mayapur. So that in that way, everything is covered.
You're right. These are technical details, but since we're reading this chapter, it's like a prerequisite to the texts that follow.
Yes.
So we have to kind of understand it, at least as best as we can.
Yes.
At least in my case, right?
Exactly, Prabhuji. That's why Prabhupada has, spent, Prabhupada used to sleep, maybe 2 hours a day. He used to wake up midnight, 12 o'clock, and start, translating Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, and hundreds of books, so that we can understand this. And of course, sometimes it is beyond my, understanding, but nevertheless, we have to continue reading. We have to continue to take association of senior devotees and try to understand. And the whole point is for us to get beyond these three modes of material nature. That's my understanding. Prabhuji's, Mataji's, anybody would like to add anything?
Thank you, Prabhuji. Very nicely explained, Prabhuji.
See, our Sairam Prabhuji is here. Prabhuji, Mataji is there. I know Mataji's birthday. Our Baswati Mataji can nicely sing for Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Mataji, Mataji went outside with Joshi.
Okay, Prabhuji. Please convey our wonderful
Yes.
happy
Yes.
Krishna
Hare
conscious
Krishna.
birthday.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay, devotees, anybody would like to add anything before we close
Yeah.
the session?
Prabhuji, what did you say? Today is Parshvati Mataji birthday?
No,
No,
Saira
no.
Prabhuji.
So, Soumya Mataji.
Soumya Mataji's birthday.
Okay.
वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्रील प्रभुपाद की
Thank
जय।
you.
Jai.
Hare
Our
Krishna.
Bhagavad Gita study ki jai.
Jai.
So
Thank
tomorrow
you,
our
Ravi.
Sriram Prabhuji will continue.
Thank you, Guruji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.